Hello, welcome back to Alpaca My Bags. Yes, we are named after alpacas and we never talk about them. I didn't get your hopes up because, we're not talking about them on this podcast either. This is actually a bonus episode, so it's going to sound very different from our other episodes. This one is just mostly fun. So if you like what you're hearing, do us a good one and leave us a review. Also remember to subscribe. All right, enjoy the show.
Okay, it's recording, so whenever you're ready, we can go.
Well, you tell me, because you're the one who was like, I'm coming over, I need to ask you something important, and I need to record it. So I'm sitting on the edge of my seat here wondering what this is about.
Okay, so, well, first of all, Katie here, podcast producer of Alpaca My Bags.
Yes.
So I am in the process of deciding whether or not I want to go to Germany. And I need your help because I feel like it's going to be kind of expensive. So, okay.
No, it doesn't have to be expensive. Never. No.
Okay,
we'll
so this is kind of the deal. So, my partner Mark wants to go to California next year to celebrate his 30th birthday. And where does he want to go? He wants to go to Star Wars Land, which is, as everyone knows, Disney is like the most expensive place you could possibly go to.
You could go to Germany 3 times for what it'll cost.
I know.
There.
Or we want to go to Germany because my friend's getting married there this summer. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, I kind of want to save all our money so we can go to California next year. And then I'm like, well, what if we can do it cheap and maybe we can do both?
And also, it's a trip to Germany. Who wouldn't want to go to
Germany? I know,
Germany?
and he wants to go to Germany, and I really do too. So what I was kind of hoping was that I could turn it into a dual trip. So we go visit my uncle in Denmark.
Yeah.
And then maybe go to Berlin, take the train down, and then maybe take the train down to Füssen, where the wedding is happening.
Oh, it's in Füssen.
Yeah.
Cool. That
I
area
know.
is so cool.
It's really nice.
You can go see Castle Neuschwanstein, I think it's called.
Yes.
It's really cool. It's literally a Disney princess castle.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We're making this happen. How much time can you go for?
So I was hoping to do it for a week or something, but I'm not sure. I kind of am open to possibilities.
You could do 10 days if you put a week on either end.
Yes. I don't know. I don't know why I'm nervous about going for longer than a week.
Don't worry. How much time will your boss give you?
10 days.
10 days.
Yeah.
Then do all 10 days. Why would you fly that far not
because
to?
I feel like there's other things that will happen this year that I might need 1 or 2 vacation days for.
Mm-hmm. That
one being another wedding that's happening in November.
Okay, but if you leave Friday, come back Sunday. Friday, you're going to fly overnight, so you're there Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're there 9 days.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Okay, so...
Okay, what are the dates?
The wedding is on August 17th. It's a Saturday.
Wedding August 17th, okay.
And then essentially...
You want that in the middle, I guess, or on either
or
end.
On the end or at the top. I don't know. But I guess this is a trick because it's how quick can you put together...
Oh my God, I can't. Okay.
She's typing away with a huge grid on her face.
Do you have a preference of where you fly into? Because
no.
The way you make it cheap is you aren't particular exactly about where you're going to go.
Okay.
Okay, first thing I'm doing, I'm going to yyzdeals.com.
Okay, I'm writing this down.
Okay,
yeah.
Hot tip. If you live in Toronto and you have flexibility with your travel, follow YYZ Deals because they post insane trips.
Okay.
Lucas and I flew to Jordan, Amman, Jordan, for $390 return. Thank you to this website. Okay, so I went there because I remembered, because I browse it all day, every day. I remembered they had a flight deal to Lisbon, Portugal, and they were nonstop. And
Is Portugal close to Germany?
Not really, but we'll get you there. So it's all Europe, and Europe is so well connected that whenever I go there, I just think cheapest flight I can get to Europe. Then you can use Ryanair or EasyJet or trains to get yourself to where you actually want to go.
Yeah.
Just as long as you're flexible.
Is it worth it to get, because I was looking at train passes.
No.
Not worth it?
I don't find them worth it.
And I saw also when I was looking at trains that if you get a ticket 2 days in advance, it could be $130. But if you get it 90 days in advance, it's $20.
Here's the thing. If you don't care about taking a train and having the train experience, Going by bus in Europe is like the cheapest way.
Really?
Always. And people don't think to do it, but it's so cheap.
I guess I wasn't thinking about the bus because I thought it would take forever. But I guess if you go overnight.
Always, no.
No?
No.
Okay, what are you looking at now?
Right now,
clicking away at?
Right now I'm following this link to this cheap flight to Lisbon.
Okay.
To see if it'll work for you, date-wise.
So, are you thinking from Lisbon I would, like, hop on another flight? Mm-hmm. Oh, like a Ryanair flight.
Yeah. And you could chill in Lisbon for a little bit. Lisbon's a really cool city.
I know.
It's super cheap, too, so you could, like, live it up there. Just chill there for a little while and then, like, move on to Germany. Okay, let's see if it works, though, because sometimes these deals don't work for specific dates that you want.
I know. That's the hard part about it being a specific date.
Yeah.
Is that I figured, you can wait for flight deals to come along for any time. But this is revolving around something more specific.
$560 direct.
Both ways?
Yeah. Return.
Wait, so if it's returned, don't I have to go back to Portugal?
Yeah, that's fine.
Wait, it was 500 and what?
60.
$60.
I mean, we could try to fly you back from Germany. I'll look into that too.
What if you can fly me back from like Copenhagen? Is Copenhagen cheap? No.
Not usually, but we can try. You never know.
I guess essentially through this, I would like to get an idea of the cheapest we could go and then call my partner Mark at the end and pitch it to him. See what he thinks.
Present the full budget.
Yeah.
Okay, Copenhagen is a no-no. It's too expensive.
Okay.
So it looks like if you were going to snag this deal, I'm just going to write this down, $560 to go through Lisbon.
Okay. I wrote that down on my little piece of paper here, too.
But you also want to go to Fusen, and you want to go to Copenhagen.
Yeah.
So let's see how we can fit that in.
This is the thing. I don't have to necessarily go to Denmark. I just thought it was a cool little thing to do since they're close. But
all right, because I'll tell you right now, seeing what I'm seeing now, the cheapest option will be to do a combination trip, Portugal and Germany.
Okay. I mean, I'd be down for that.
Because I'm pretty sure I can fly you from Portugal to Germany for, like, really cheap.
You can fly me specifically?
Yeah, I'll fly the plane for you. Didn't I tell you? I'm a pilot.
Okay, I feel like I'm into that idea. Like, I'm pretty open to this because I just want to go on vacation.
And Portugal's amazing.
I know.
It's actually amazing.
I have a friend who has, her family's from Portugal, and she is she's been there quite a few times, and it always looks beautiful.
Amazing.
So I'd be super down to go there. So the other thing that I was thinking about is how the rest of Germany is super expensive, right? Mm-hmm. But when I was looking up stuff online too, I was reading things about like when it comes down to food and stuff, and how if you eat basically street food the entire time, you can get away with being pretty cheap.
Oh, absolutely. Or what I always did when I was backpacking in Europe was always get a hostel with a kitchen. And I would just go to grocery stores and cook for myself. Check if they have a kitchen, and that will save you tons. And usually I'd eat out like one meal a day, but the rest I would just snack or cook in my hostel.
Yeah, I figured I would just get a whole bunch of snacks. Because I feel like I could get an Airbnb, and also, so it's a friend from work. So there's a whole bunch of us from work who are all invited. So we're thinking of getting an Airbnb together.
Do that. That'll be way cheaper.
Yeah.
For sure. Or you just rent out an entire dorm in a hostel.
Yeah.
That could be really cheap. Just like, you know how they have those 10-bed dorms?
Oh, yeah.
You just rent the whole dorm. My friends and I did that in Montreal, and it was so much fun.
I feel like some people have higher standards, though.
Than dorms?
Like, Mark and I could easily do that, but I feel like friends of ours would be like, no, it's not happening.
Honestly, hostels in Europe are like oftentimes so much nicer than like hotel rooms Luke and I have stayed in.
Oh, yeah?
In foreign countries. They're so nice.
Okay, so far you're thinking that Lisbon is the best bet.
Yeah, I'm about to give you the next.
Yeah, what have you got going on over
here? There? Okay. I'm looking at small airports in Germany to fly you from Lisbon to.
Oh.
On Ryanair.
Is that essentially the equivalent of, like, Porter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Europe Porter.
That makes sense.
Okay, it looks like it'll cost, if we fly you to Munich, which is quite close to Fusen, Let me just double check that's true. Munich.
I think it is.
And Munich's really fun too. So if I were you, I would just hang out in Portugal, then go to Munich, drink some beer there, and then go to Fusen.
Okay.
That'd be a great week.
That would be a great week. Then, I mean, I've heard really good things about Berlin, so that's why I wanted to go there. But, like, it's not a super far... it is a super far train ride.
This is a controversial thing I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
I like Munich more than Berlin.
I guess I've just heard, like, really funny, like, party stories about Berlin. And how they have, like, a really cool, like, red light district or something.
That's probably what it is. And I've never been, like, a huge partier. I did party a bit in Munich and had an amazing time.
What did you do in Munich?
It's just a very different vibe. Like, Berlin is very hip and edgy and cool and, like, young people.
Yeah.
Munich is more like the Hofbrauhaus and, like, drinking beer and looking at a cathedral. It's more like classic Europe.
Okay.
Berlin is very modern.
Okay.
It's nice, and Munich is small.
Yeah.
You can walk everywhere. Berlin is, like, big and overwhelming. Okay. I'm still looking for your flight to Germany. We're getting there.
Yes. Because I was mostly just wondering about, like, the expenses there. But, like, the more I think about it, the more I feel like I could just do it in a cheap way.
Oh, for sure.
And
this is why I'm such a fan of Portugal. Truly, everything is so cheap there.
Yeah.
You can stay in a private room in a hostel for, like, 30 Canadian dollars.
Oh, okay.
You won't spend a lot of money there.
Yeah.
A beer is $1 if you go to the right place. I ate in restaurants there. I was there like 2 years ago. I ate an amazing meal in a restaurant. It cost me $8.
Oh, okay.
When you get to Germany, it's going to be double that.
Yeah.
So I would bask in the cheapness of Portugal.
Was I reading one of your blogs, essentially your budget per day? I think this was in your trip to Jordan, maybe, where you ended up spending like about $50 a day or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you think that's doable in Europe? Because you said Jordan was expensive, right?
Yeah, but that's because my brain is clouded because in the last few years, we've only traveled to places that are generally cheaper, like Asia.
Yeah.
Where were we? We've been in Central America a lot. Mm-hmm. So we're comparing to that.
Okay.
We consider it expensive.
So do you think it's doable to do 50 Canadian a day?
If you try real hard.
Yeah.
In Portugal, you could. In Germany, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Germany... It's pretty hard to get away from the expenses there.
Yeah. I think this sounds doable, though.
Okay, I'm checking one more thing.
Okay.
33 hours.
I'm looking at hostels in Munich.
I can tell you the one we stayed in. It had private rooms that were pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. Well, ones that I'm seeing right now are like $30 a night in Munich.
Oh, that's not bad.
$40 a night. I think it's American dollars, probably.
That's the other key. The sooner you book trips to Europe, the cheaper everything is.
Yeah.
Especially because it's summer, prices go up a lot.
Okay.
Here's my answer. I think that the cheapest way you can do it is to do direct flight Toronto to Portugal, which is $560. Mm-hmm. And then your second flight will also be direct from Lisbon to Munich nonstop for $397. Mm-hmm. That's more than I wanted it to be, but that brings you to a total of $950 in transport the whole time.
For a round trip?
Yeah. So you would fly to Portugal, stay there a couple days, then fly Portugal to Germany, do the whole Germany thing. Then you'd have to fly back to Portugal.
Okay. Okay.
Or let me see what it would be to fly home directly from Munich. I think it'll be a lot. Yeah, it's definitely going to be cheaper for you to do the return flight through Portugal. I'm vibing with Portugal.
I'm looking up Munich to Fusen. I don't know how you'd get there.
Train. Or bus. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true. I forgot about the bus situation.
Does it say how long it takes?
About 2 hours, which is nothing.
And it'll be fun because
that's driving.
It's so beautiful there.
Yeah. Okay, so you could get a train for about €22, apparently with Go Euro.
I would book directly through the German train website.
Okay.
I just always feel more comfortable booking directly than through a third party.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It is.
Okay, well, that's helpful.
Yeah. Also look at the bus, because if you're really hardcore about saving money, like the bus might be cheaper.
Okay.
Although
it doesn't seem that bad anyways.
Yeah. So let's factor that in. That was 22 euro. So that's going to be, let's see what the exchange is right now. 22. Oh, that's, oh no, I did it the wrong way. $32. So
okay.
But you're going to have to come back. So that's $60 per person. So your transportation charges for this 10-day trip will total $1,000.17.
And 17 per person. Okay.
And I would budget, let me see.
And then, okay, so that's transport. And then...
Okay, I'm going to give you an estimate. I'm going to give you an estimate for what the hotels will cost.
Okay, that's what I was thinking about next. Stay. Okay, but let's factor in the fact that we might share an Airbnb in Fusen, which might be, I would say, 2 or 3 days. Maybe two nights. I would say 2 nights.
Well, look up Airbnbs in Fusen and see what the general price is.
It might be split between like 5 people, which was
that'll bring down the cost.
Yeah.
Okay, so private rooms in Lisbon are pretty expensive.
Okay.
The cheapest one is $77.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, or you can like cheap out and just stay in a dorm. Lucas and I do that. I mean, sometimes Lucas and I get really tired of them now, so we often opt for a private room, even if it's more expensive. But, like, you could, even if you do a private room for, like, $70, that's $35 each a night, which is a lot of your $50 budget, but, like, it's not too bad. You could also look at Airbnbs in Lisbon. I'm going to look right now.
Okay, I'm looking at them in Fusen right now. Okay, I'm just going to say it's 2 nights. I don't know for sure. That's the thing.
I would do 2 nights.
2 nights?
Err on the safe side.
Oh my god, we could get a tree house.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
That's so sick. Oh wait, but it's not very close by. Okay, all of them are really expensive, but I looked it up for 5 people, so...
Yeah, so divide it, and then it usually works out to way more affordable.
Like, I'm finding some places, it looks like there's a wide variety of things. But, like, for 5 people, it's saying it's around $200 a night, which would be...
That's not bad.
How much is that?
Around $40 per person.
Okay, yeah. Then that's... Well, considering the hotels are, like, $150 a night.
Oh, that's way more affordable.
Yeah, yeah.
And this just in, rooms in Lisbon, you can get it down to $35 for a private room in an Airbnb. Okay. Which is super good.
How much were you saying Munich was, essentially? It was like 30 or something. I think I saw it pretty cheap, actually. Give me one sec. I literally just had it up. Yeah, they're like, you can get them for about 35.
It's weird because when I backpacked Europe, it was all about hostels, and that was like by far the cheapest way to stay anywhere. And I think nowadays it's definitely Airbnb.
Like, I've never used Airbnb before.
Really?
Yeah. And how have you found, like, the experience between, like, having your own private space and, like, renting, like, the room, like a private room in a house or something?
We usually just rent the entire apartment.
That's what I usually prefer.
Yeah, but we have stayed in an apartment where we were just in a room that belonged to other people. We did it in India. And we had an amazing experience.
Yeah.
They cooked us
you do
the most
that here
delicious dinner
at your house.
And I Airbnb a room in my apartment, and we've never had a problem with it. Okay. People are like super respectful. You just like have to read that they've been verified and what other hosts have said about them. But usually people like, they're really respectful, and they're tourists, so they're never here. They're always out doing their thing.
That's true.
And I think like I really enjoy doing it because I always loved hostels, and Airbnb in a room is really similar in that there's a hospitality sense to it, and you're socializing with someone who's like experiencing the city for the first time. Yeah. So I love having those conversations with our guests, like when they come back in the evening, like, how was your day? What did you see? Tell me your thoughts about Toronto. I love giving people recommendations. So I love being a host. But that's also, that same reason is why I don't mind staying in a room in someone else's apartment.
That's true. That's true.
Actually, now that I think about it, I did it in Scotland as well. my friend and I stayed in an apartment in Glasgow, and the hosts were super friendly.
Okay,
and we
sweet.
Chatted and drank tea with them in the evening. It was an awesome experience.
That's far more encouraging for me then.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just have to go in thinking positively.
Yeah.
And the big thing is read reviews. If I see one bad review, I don't do it.
Okay, so I was just quickly looking up calculations for what I'm expecting the cheapest we could get with hostels and stays. Mm-hmm. So if we were doing 2 nights in Fusen, 4 nights in Lisbon, and 4 nights in Munich, well, maybe 3-ish.
Well, you'd arrive Saturday morning. So Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. It'd be 8 nights total.
Oh, okay. So I could minus 70. So I feel like we could get away with $310 for stays.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, what does that put your grand total at? $300 for stays?
Yeah, $310 for stays, approximately.
Let's just bump it up to $1,400 is going to be your flight.
But that's just for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
$1,400 per person.
So double the transportation cost, because I'm going to split it right down the middle and then tell Mark that's what it is per person.
So $2,800.
Yeah.
In total for both of you.
Okay.
And then if you budget $50 a day on top of that,
mm-hmm.
50 times 9, $450. I lost the previous number. What was it?
Okay, one second. I have it written down on this tiny piece of paper.
No, I got it. I remembered it. $2,880 plus.
Wait, how are you getting $2,880?
I get it because that's the whole total, both of you.
Wait, are you talking transport or stays?
Transport and stays.
No, I don't think that's correct.
Oh. Okay, hold on.
Okay, you said transport was $1,017.
$1,017, yeah.
Yes, times 2 equals.
Oh, I see. I get it now.
Because that was per person,
It wasn't
right?
$300 per person for your stay.
It's $300 total.
Oh, okay. Plus $300. Let's tack on $200 for incidentals.
Mm-hmm. Just
We're
to be safe.
$2,800. And then plus your $50 a day. What's that?
50 times 10 is...
No, times 9. $450.
$450, okay.
Times 2, though, because there's 2 of you.
Yeah.
Plus $2,800. Your grand total is $3,700. That's what it'll cost. Which is really good for Europe.
That's surprising, because when we went to the Dominican last year in May, the total cost was $3,500 for 2 of us.
Yeah, this
for
is
an
really
all-inclusive.
Good. This is $1,850 per person.
Interesting.
And think about it this way. You buy the flight now. That's the down payment. Then you have time to pay it off before you actually go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you're only paying $560 for the initial flight. Because that's the thing. If you want that flight deal, Toronto to Lisbon, you've got to book it ASAP.
Yeah.
In Lisbon, everyone drinks on the street.
Yeah.
And it's really fun to go out there because, you can really mix with the locals there. Because
Okay.
you just, pop into a bar, you get your drink, they put it in a plastic cup, you go back out on the street, and people are just, having the time of their lives.
Okay, that sounds so fun.
I had
so
the
down.
best nights there, just, chatting with locals.
Okay.
It was really good.
Well, I bet you when I call Mark to tell him all these things, his reaction is going to be well, I'll think about it.
I think you should call him now because I'm so sure you're not going to find anything cheaper than $560.
Okay.
It's not happening.
Let me just message him to make sure that he's around. Oh, yeah. So all the noise in the background has been dinner being made because this is very last minute episode. So, yeah, it's just an authentic vibe.
This isn't even an episode. You didn't even tell me this was happening.
We may or may not release this. But I think there's a lot of really great information. I didn't even know half the stuff that you told me. So, because I've always just assumed it's so expensive.
Yeah.
So I just kind of strayed away from it until I figured I have all this disposable income to book a trip to Europe. But then I see so many people, coming out of university who are just I'm backpacking Europe now.
Yeah.
And then I'm is it doable on a budget?
It is, but Europe now, when I backpacked Europe, I spent $2,000 a month in Europe.
That's crazy.
You couldn't do that now with the prices of hostels. Like, Europe is definitely one of the most expensive destinations now. But it just goes to show, like, everyone can make it happen if they want to. Mm-hmm. You might not be able to do Europe, but, like, our trip to Jordan cost us $1,200 total.
That's crazy. That's so
like
good.
Each, but
still,
because we snagged a flight deal, we weren't particular about where we went. Mm-hmm. We found the cheapest ways to get around, which for us was renting a car. Mm-hmm. We were really careful about where we ate. We always made sure to like pick cheap places. You can make it work.
And like, just because you're spending not very much money doesn't mean you're not having fun.
Totally.
Like, that's half the fun of it sometimes. It's just seeing how, like, low you can go.
I think a lot of people think, like, that their travels need to be luxurious. They don't need to be. It's not about that. And granted, not everyone can pull together $1,200. Like, we're really lucky that we're able to do that. But I think that more people should open their minds to, like, the idea that they could travel on a budget that works for them. Because I think, like, there's so many portrayals of travel as being this, like, luxurious, expensive thing that people can't, like, wrap their head around a budget trip that's affordable.
100%.
So
that's what I feel like is kind of the idea with Mark sometimes, where I think he's like, it's going to be so expensive. And like, mind you, this is like still $3,700 is a big chunk out of what we could be saving for California. Yeah. But at this point, we don't even know how expensive it is going to be. Yeah. And like, whether, like, have we started saving money for that? Sorta. Like, so I don't know. I'm like wondering what's realistic with that. So I'm curious to see what he thinks. Hello. Hi. Okay, so Erin has so kindly taken the time to put together a potential trip for us to Germany this summer. So we're going to pitch it to you and see what you think. You don't have to come up with a conclusion now, but so far sounds pretty good. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Mark, you're going to like it. You're going to like it.
Okay. Do you want to say it, Erin, or do you want me to say it?
You say it.
Okay. So this is what we're thinking. We fly into Lisbon in Portugal and then stay there about a couple of nights. Apparently it's very fun and very cheap there.
Location again? You literally cut off and I heard Portugal. What did you say? Which location?
The first location is Portugal. We'd fly into Lisbon.
That's not in Germany.
No.
That's not Germany.
No, that's where we start because it's cheaper to fly there. So we fly to Portugal and stay there a couple of days first. Okay.
Keep going.
And then we hop on a flight and go to Munich. And then we hang out in Munich for a couple of days. And then we go to Fusen where the wedding is happening. And stay there 2 nights in the Airbnb with my pals from work. And then essentially do it in reverse. Then we go back to Munich and then fly home through Portugal. Because apparently that's the cheapest way to do it. So are you down to go to Portugal?
Portugal. I mean, I'm not against it.
Hey, Mark, I'm eating a burrito, so excuse the way I'm talking, but, like, it is amazing. Portugal is so cheap. They have really good beer. The locals are super fun. It's really beautiful. It's sunny. It's perfect. You'll love it.
Because, like, we don't... So this is what we've essentially thought. I have to give you the budget, though, first, too. So, essentially, if we were working with, like, a budget of about $50 a day in each country or each city, kind of... Well, it's doable, essentially. Because if we were in Portugal, we could just go to the beach and walk around. And then in Germany, we can go for hikes and explore and do fun stuff. Because do you really want to stay on the regular tourist track?
Well, I mean, I've never done even that in Europe, so I'm open to anything.
Okay.
Realistically.
Okay, but you'll get a little mixture because Munich is super touristy, but good touristy. You'll get a little taste of everything.
So essentially, what everything came down to for both of us was about $3,700 if we were going cheap.
Sure.
So, thoughts? Concerns?
Well, My only thought, the only thought I have about it is, would that affect any trips in the start of the following year? If we spend this money on this trip, will we still be able to do, there's a reasonable budget that also includes things other than just going to this wedding in Germany, then that'd be fun.
Yeah. So this budget includes that. Essentially, we'd be staying in like some hostels or Airbnbs.
What is that city in Germany I always want to go to but can never remember the name of that bird Poland?
Oh, yeah. I think that would have to be another trip. He wants to go to this city that's on the border of Germany and Poland that wasn't touched by the war. It's like this beautiful city.
What is it called?
It's where they shot Grand Budapest Hotel.
She's looking it up.
It looks cool. We'll make that a different trip. We'll do a separate trip called European Sets.
I like that. I'm into that idea. We could do that in a couple of years when we have a disposable income. Well, I guess at this point we have to decide whether or not I feel like $3,700 is pretty reasonable. So now we just have to figure out what the heck the cost of Disney is next year and if we're going to go next year.
Oh, we're going to go next year. It's just a matter of when we can secure tickets. And we wouldn't be going near my birthday anyway because we want to go watch some baseball. And I kind of want to sort of plan out. So, like, my idea is look at the schedule as soon as it is posted and then figure out a time when it'd be, like, most easy to see as much baseball in California as possible. You gotta somehow figure out a way that you can watch the Padres, the Dodgers, the Angels, the Athletics, and maybe the Giants.
This is priorities for our trips. We went to Lansing, Michigan 2 years ago to go watch baseball.
Oh my God.
Lansing, Michigan. But it was like the best trip ever. We had so much fun.
Lansing, Michigan. You should have a podcast episode with that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I have to look up all the Disney stuff, but there's no information about that yet. So far, are you down with this idea if we can afford it?
It's not even open yet.
Well, I'm surprised that $3,700 is what we can get away with for like a 10-day trip. So we'd leave on a Friday and come back on a Sunday-ish.
What is the cost of just going to this wedding and coming back? Like, if you were just to fly there, stay in the Airbnb, and come back, what is that costing those people?
I'll look it up.
Like, direct flight to wherever in Germany that they're all probably going to land and go to an Airbnb, and then fly home.
Erin says you're not going to get that because it's going to be way too expensive. It'll essentially be the same cost.
You won't get a direct flight to Germany.
This is supposed to help me convince this is a great idea, because if that's really expensive, that's what a lot of people are going to end up paying. Then
what I'm saying is I think it's better to do a full trip instead of just doing there and back.
I want that assurance that their trip is that, like, the trip that a lot of people are going to do to have to go to this wedding is very expensive, and that doing this is more cost effective. So this just makes it sound better.
True.
So you could fly Toronto to Frankfurt nonstop for $1,000. The dates would be Wednesday, August 14 to Sunday, August 18. But then you would have to travel from Frankfurt.
That'll probably be another, like...
It'll be a little bit cheaper, but not that much.
Sounds expensive to me.
Yeah, well, it is...
$1,000?
Just to go for, like, 2 days?
Per ticket? For another $1,700. Well, that's not even including whatever the ride from Frankfurt to...
yeah.
Okay, well...
Okay, we'll think about it. Yay! Mark approves. We just have to wait for the cost of Disney then, essentially.
Well, yeah, that's my 30th birthday. You can't play around.
True enough. Okay, well, thank you.
I'm thinking about it.
Excellent.
Enjoy your podcast.
Okay, so conclusion.
I think you're going to have to follow up with us.
I think so too.
And let us know what the status is. Just remember those flights, like, that flight deal might disappear.
I know, we have to make a move fast.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm kind of thinking. Like, fast. Also, I have to tell my uncle we're not going to Denmark now. thank you for all of your advice. This has been super helpful.
You're welcome. You know how much I love to trip plan for people. Well, I just plan trips for my friends.
Perfect.
It makes me happy.
I'll come back to you for the next couple of trips.
Please do.
Please keep your eyes on the Disney website.
I will. I've never planned a Disney vacation. This
It's
could
so
be
expensive.
a new frontier for me.
You have a lot to think about.
Yeah.